In January 2020, President Uhuru Kenyatta issued Executive Order number 1. In that executive order, President Uhuru Kenyatta restructured his government. He transferred all the functions which were previously being undertaken by his deputy, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, to Fred Okengo Matiangi. And he also made Matiangi the supervisor of all cabinet secretaries. That move by the president effectively made Fred Matiangi the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. Fred Matiangi became the second most powerful individual in Kenya. And that move by the president annoyed the allies of the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto. And Fred Matiangi became the target of attacks by the allies of William Samoei Arap Ruto. And before it took long, Fred Matiangi also started responding, and he started following the footsteps of President Uhuru Kenyatta. I remember one instance when he was in Kirinyaga, accompanied by Karanja Kibicho. Fred Matiangi made it very clear that for them, they receive orders and execute the orders. And later on, Fred Matiangi, this was just, I think, early this year, Fred Matiangi was in my own constituency of Nyakach, and he officially endorsed Raila Odinga. And today, Fred Matiangi lectured the Deputy President, Dr. William Samoei Arap Ruto, over 2 things, actually 3 things. The first thing is the issue of the deep state. The second thing is the issue of the budget, because William Ruto and his brigades are threatening to stop or to frustrate the budget. And the third thing is the president's move to support Raila Odinga. I want you guys to listen to Fred Okengo Matiangi very briefly, because I want to dissect his latest statement. Listening to Fred Matiangi.
They are moving around and saying, oh, you know me, as you know, please sympathize with me. There is a certain dark group of people called Deep State who hate me. They don't like me. They don't want me to be a leader. They plot evil against me. You drive public money in that state. You eat food bought by that public state that you are condemning. You live in a house of that state. When does it become deep and deeper than you? Forget about these jokes. Finally, you asked me, so I'm just responding to your question. You asked me, how are we okay if the president is involved? You know, sometimes I don't know whether to laugh or cry. Where do we live? We have to choose what we want. Do we want democracy or autocracy? We say, okay, we are a democratic institution. When did the president lose his democratic right? So that he's supposed to keep quiet because you are president, see no evil, hear no evil, say nothing. You are president. When you try to say, we tell you, no, you are president, keep quiet. So don't say anything. And you are not supposed to associate with anybody, you are not supposed to tell anybody. I have not heard my boss, our president, anywhere in this country, both in private and in public, telling anybody, this is a presidential decree, you must go this way. I've never heard him say such things. The president speaks like the leader of our people, like we expect all leaders to speak. In my view, this is what I think I would like would happen to our country. And you have the democratic right to agree or disagree with him. And nothing will happen to you by the way you disagree with him. And nothing will happen with you if you agree with him. That's the country we are building. You saw President Obama, before he left office, on the campaign trail for the Democratic Party candidate. Did that happen or it did not happen? That is supposed to be the icon of democracy in the world.
No, that's Fred Matiangi. And it's not the first time Fred Matiangi was making such kind of attacks on the deputy president. Earlier this year, Fred Matiang'i was in my own constituency of Nyakach, and he endorsed Raila Odinga. And from the tone of his speech during that particular event, it was clear that Fred Matiang'i is not yet done with the deputy president. So I want you to also listen briefly to Fred Matiang'i, what he was saying in Nyakach before we proceed.
Kazi imefanyika ama haijafanyika? Lavu niambie sasa, nisikuja hapa nisiseme maneno eti nione haya eti mwambie CS Matiang'i hawachane asizungumze maneno hiyo ya Raila na handshake kwendeni. Lazima tufahamu vile mambo iko. Let's be very honest. We stop this hypocrisy and pretense here. Tunajifanya hapa eti there are things that we can talk about and there are things we cannot talk about. Sisi tukiwa Nyanza hapa we are one, na tumekuwa pamoja siku zote. We are one people. Ama namna gani? Kwetu ni hapa juu. Na ndipo tumeongea pia, na tuliongea vizuri sana. Tumekubaliana sisi wote. Na mzee wetu Prime Minister Raila Odinga ndiye anatuongoza. Na tumekubaliana safari hii sisi watu wa Nyanza tutasimama pamoja kama mtu mmoja. Na tutasimama sisi wote pamoja. Sasa nikisema hivyo nimefanya makosa? Na mimi sichakuuliza wewe ruhusa, unipee ruhusa mimi nisimame pamoja na Prime Minister Raila Odinga. Sichakuuliza ruhusa, unipee ruhusa nisimame na Mheshimiwa Rais. Mheshimiwa Rais is my boss. Niye amenipea kazi nifanye, akiamuru vile tunaenda. It is logical mimi nikiwa waziri wake wa usalama. Mimi napiga laini mahali Rais amepiga laini ama namna gani? Hapana. Tufanye kazi. There is a way in which a country is led. Tusisikize hii maneno. Hawa watu mambo mdomo tu kila siku huku kelele kusunguka, hakuna kazi. Walikuwa wapi wakati tulikuwa hapa? Sasa watu wanaanza kujifanya hapa. Mimi nimemletea ile, nikamletea ile ingine. Ile poti ilikuwa huko. Wale watu niliona wakati ile poti ilianza kujengwa walikuwa Mheshimiwa Uhuru Kenyatta na Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga. Tukiwa pale kuamuru tuanze kazi. Na hiyo poti imetengeneza ikakuwa. Sasa watu wameanza ni msunguko tu. Mtu karibu sasa waanze kusema unajua mimi hata hawa watoto wenu mimi ndio nimewasalia. Ai. Wakenya tunaelewa hii maneno vile iko. Tuache porocho, tufanye kazi ile tumepewa tufanye. Na tuache propaganda. Wananchi tumekubaliana. Basi tukae pamoja vile viongozi wetu wanatuelekeza. Na tuweke amani. Wakati huu ni wakati wa kuweka amani. Na wakati wa uchaguzi ukifika, Mheshimiwa Buyu, mimi nataka kukuhakikishia sisi tutasimama imara kama idara ya usalama. We have mapped the country. The areas where we have challenges like Marsabit, Pandei ya North Rift, kule Laikipia. Sote we are consulting and we are looking for long-term solutions, and some of them are going to be stiff, lakini mwishowe we have to walk that journey if that is how we are going to keep our country peaceful. Hiyo ndio kazi yetu, kuhakikisha kwamba kuna usalama wa kutosha, na wakati wa campaign ukifika kila mtu atafute kura. We chose democracy in our constitution. We are a democratic country. Sisi kama serikali hatutaingilia mtu yeyote, na nimesema kila mara, you don't need our permission to campaign. Hiyo wakati ulipita. You are free as a Kenyan citizen to go wherever you want to go and campaign. Talk to Kenyans, provided usiwasumbue. Ukiwasumbua tutaingia.
No, that's Fred Okengo Matiang'i. In this video, I want us to try and figure out the message which Fred Matiang'i is actually sending to William Samoei Ruto. Before we do that, if you are watching this channel for the first time, I want you to take a second or two, click the subscribe button, so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Again, please continue checking on isorite.com. It's a global merchant platform where you can sell and buy products. Check it. I'm getting feedback from you guys, but just do that. Now, let us get back to the main issue. Fred Matiang'i is the second most powerful individual in this country after President Uhuru Kenyatta. Because the functions which the deputy president used to perform, Fred Matiang'i is now performing. And the statement by Matiang'i directed at William Samoei Arap Ruto, and even where those statements were uttered, is significant. And is significant because of these reasons. Number one, Fred Matiang'i is the Cabinet Secretary for Interior. The fact that Fred Matiang'i is the Cabinet Secretary for Interior is important because any statement he makes has a meaning. Why am I saying this? I'm saying this because of two main reasons. Number one, the Minister for Interior will oversee the transition or the handover of power in this general election. So it means, assuming the Deputy President wins, the person who is supposed to oversee the transition of power from Uhuru to Ruto is Fred Okengo Matiang'i. But if Fred Matiang'i is talking the way he's talking, what can you conclude? Personally, I'm concluding that Fred Matiang'i is well aware that there is no way William Ruto is going to take power. And there's no way he's going to hand over power to William Samoei Arap Ruto. And that's why sometimes I say that voters in this country have never had opportunity to vote. And Raila Odinga will become the president because of the way I'm saying things. And because the docket is holding is important, especially in terms of transition, if he was sure that William Ruto can be the president, because remember, being the Cabinet Secretary for Interior, this guy has access to intelligence reports every single day. It also means that this guy gets briefings from President Uhuru Kenyatta. He meets the president anytime, anywhere he wants. So which means it's a discussion which probably they've had that William Ruto is not going to become the next president. And therefore, because the deputy president is not going to become the president, there is even no need. So you can just lecture him the way you want. So because that's number one. Number two, I also think that the fact that Fred Matiang'i is supposed to, the docket is holding, is supposed to secure votes is also something which should worry the deputy president. Because Fred Matiang'i is talking, and we are in April, and we are how many months away from elections? Just a few months away. And he's talking like this. This is the guy who will oversee, who will secure the votes. So is there something he knows which probably we don't know? So it's significant. That's the first reason why it's significant, because of the role or the ministry Fred Matiang'i is undertaking. Number two, Fred Matiang'i is considered to be a close associate of President Uhuru Kenyatta. He's a close ally of the president. And being an appointee of the president, it means there are certain things Fred Matiang'i cannot just say. He can only say them, and when he's so sure that whatever he's saying has the blessings of the president. Sometimes last year, when the allies of the deputy president were attacking Matiang'i, I was very clear on this platform that they were attacking a wrong person. The person they ought to have attacked that time was none other than President Uhuru Kenyatta. Because if the president decides to transfer Matiang'i today, he will transfer him from the docket. If he decides to send Matiang'i home, he will send Matiang'i home. But Fred Matiang'i is an associate of the president. And therefore, whatever he's communicating is actually communicating the mind of President Uhuru Kenyatta. So in my own view, I tend to think that whatever Fred Matiang'i was saying at that particular event is actually what the president would have said if he were to be at that particular event. Or probably Fred Matiang'i shared with the president and was advised that go and share this. Number three, I also tend to think that the president has devised a strategy of deconstructing his deputy. He's been doing it. If you listen to President Uhuru Kenyatta's speech in Mombasa, he's doing it. If you listen to his close allies, especially those in government, they are doing it. Fred Matiang'i is also doing it. So maybe, I'm just saying maybe, that is the strategy which the president has now devised, that if you get any opportunity, please deconstruct the deputy president. We've seen Peter Munya doing the same. We've seen the CS for ICT. What is the name of the CS for ICT? Jamaa mdogo mdogo. Doing the same. We've seen Karanja Kibicho doing the same and several others doing the same. So maybe it's a government policy now to start politics and deconstruct William Samoei Arap Ruto. The other important thing in Fred Matiang'i's speech or statement is actually the timing. The timing is key. Why now? The choice of venue. These guys were addressing the issues of elections, and even the IBC chairperson was there. There were diplomats there, and this guy was deconstructing the deputy president in a way that this guy akienda kwa choo anatumia tissue ya serikali akikunywa chai, the government, the vehicle is being secured by the government, but still accusing the same government. So basically, I think the timing is also important. And lastly, I also tend to think that Fred Matiang'i's statement is also important because Fred Matiang'i is kind of the guy now taking the roles which were previously being performed by William Ruto. I don't know what you think, but that's my take. Thank you guys, and please may you have a good day. Bye-bye.